witch is so unique.
The gift of witchcraft.
I was able to see, hear, and communicate with spirits.
A very personal relationship between a person and spirit.
Carnal lust and fun things like that.
Working with different energies with spirits and communicating.
Creating magic.
Powerful ritual and powerful spell.
She's actually sitting me in the cauldron.
The role of the witch is to make change.
Blessed be, y'all. Blessed be. People ask me, like, okay, I'm a witch, and I don't know what to do.
20 years ago, 3 young friends realized they were witches.
They scattered to different parts of the world following magic and spirit.
Now, they're back in their hometown to share what they've learned.
Welcome to That Witch Life Podcast, your home for living as a witch in today's world.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to That Witch Life Podcast. I'm your host today. I'm Courtney.
And I'm Hillary.
And I'm Kanani.
As you know, we always bring our family on to the show around this time of year. 2 years ago, we had Kanani's mom. And then last year, we had our quote unquote show family, which was our editor and our tech guy. And this year, we're bringing on my husband, Brian, and Kanani's daughter, Soleil. And we are going to be playing the very famous Hallmark Our Horror Movie game.
I can't wait. It's going to be so good.
If you all are not familiar, if this is your first time hearing, no pressure. If this is your first time hearing this, this is the game that's probably going to make us famous and hopefully make us rich too. But I read a very basic pared down description of either a Hallmark or horror movie. And then people have to guess, is it a Hallmark or is it a horror movie? And it has stumped a lot of people except for Kanani, which is why we brought in the heavy hitters this year, because my husband is a horror movie buff and Kanani's daughter Soleil is a Hallmark movie aficionado. So we're going to see if Soleil versus my husband can beat the ultimate champion, Kanani. Hillary is going to be on my side of commentary because she has historically lost this game badly.
I'll lose. Or watch, this is the year that I would win.
Year.
I did almost win last year.
But she almost won last year because
really good last year.
Because Fancy Phil and Corey were so bad that it was by default that she almost won.
They were so bad.
It was bad.
Can I just say for the
you
record
guys kept
here,
making them like double and triple points to get close to me.
can I just say for the record here too, I want to correct what Courtney said. I like horror movies. I'm not a horror movie buff because I started playing this game like, when you guys weren't recording this, and I bombed pretty well. So don't I just want to say, I need to come down off that pedestal.
For the record, my daughter is a Hallmark aficionado, so that was factual.
Okay, so she's going to win the game. Let's just call it that.
I don't know.
Soleil's going to win the game.
Can she beat her mother? I mean, that is the big question. So first of all, I think everybody should get to know our people a little bit. And we're going to give Soleil and Brian each a chance to tell us a little bit about themselves. Brian, you can go first so Soleil has a little bit of time to think on her answer. So honey, tell everybody about yourself.
Well, my name is Brian. I am the spouse of Courtney. She met me when I was rising out of my coffin in Transylvania, Romania. I was about to feast on her, but I saw her gorgeous red hair and I just said, maybe I should wait on this one. Thinking back to that moment in time when we first met, when I was about to feast on her, I should have made the decision to feast on her.
What?
Don't lie, that's how we met.
This intro makes no sense
don't
at
lie.
all.
That's the story I remember, Brian.
Yeah,
come clean,
that's the
Courtney.
story.
Tell the world the truth. That is how we met.
And
that's
Brian, you really fucked up because if you would have feasted on her, you wouldn't have gotten stuck with me.
And
now your life is pigs and crabs and weird hysterical laughter conversations where the entire phone call on speaker in your house is laughter and only laughter.
Hillary, thank you for sticking the knife in and twisting it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Oh my God. We were watching the Great British Baking Show the other night. And one of the contestants made these little pig-shaped bread rolls.
Did you die?
I did. And Brian the whole time was like, don't say a word. Don't say it. Don't say
I'm
it.
surprised. I was just shocked she didn't pick up her phone right away and text
I'm
you
offended.
about it.
I'm offended. I think we have to have a fucking conversation about our friendship.
Oh my God. I can literally hear Soleil's eyes rolling in her head as this is going on. So Soleil, tell everyone about you.
I'm Soleil. My mom's Kanani. I like to dance. I'm a dancer. I'm into crystals, and I like Starbucks.
Do you remember the song that Auntie Coco used to sing to you on Zoom when you were an infant?
No.
Courtney, do you remember the song that you used to sing to her on Zoom?
I will never forget. What do you do
with the drunken
sailor? You shave his belly with a rusty razor.
She heard that probably 80,000 times. If that explains part of what may be wrong with my child. This is what she was subjected to as infancy when I would Zoom with Courtney when she lived in New York. And she used
From
to
the
clap her
beginning.
hands.
Soleil, you've suffered from day one. I'm sorry.
From the moment she was into this world.
All right. Well, we're going to ask our two guests the question that we ask all of our guests on the show, which is, how did you know that you were a witch or a magical person? Honey, you get to go first.
Started reading some books when I was living in Pittsburgh. And then, I kind of I did a tiny little ritual for myself at Fall Eck. And I kind of planted the seed at that moment. And that's where my life totally went for a whirlwind. And I ended up on the East Coast, and I met the wonderful group that changed me and made me what I am today, and introduced me to my, current spouse.
Your current spouse. Oh,
yes. This is not
Your future spouse is an entire other. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
My future spouse will be when I go back to Romania.
Oh my God. I always
my
saw
homeland.
I'm like,
where you can properly feast on your spouse. Yeah.
Yes, my burial plot is still there. I haven't sold it yet.
Oh my God. I'm sitting here like, wow, I'm about to get traded for a burial plot. That's awesome.
No, that's not what I said at all. You completely missed what I said. Anyway.
So, okay, honey, the next question I have for you before we go to Soleil is, when did you first know that Hillary and I are the funniest people on the planet?
You see, that question, that is the wrong answer to the question you just asked. You are not the funniest people on the face of the planet, because how many times when you crack a joke that you think is funny, how often do I give you a stone-faced look or roll my eyes as compared to laugh at what your joke?
Oh, you laugh all the time. You always think it's funny. You don't remember?
You are lying. Oh my God, the screen is on fire.
I mean, every time that I call and we're laughing, I hear Brian laughing in a jovial manner in the background.
Well. Your screen is on fire as well, Hillary. Here is I'm going to tell this to the world and all of your listeners. My interpretation of the two of you. When you start laughing uncontrollably just from the sight or even the mention of the word pig, okay? Most of your listeners are pretty smart. They probably know something about science. I'm sure they know what a particle collider is. You two are like random atoms that get released in the collider that start, gaining their own speed, but then you bounce off of each other, increase your momentum and your velocity, in creating more and more speed and chaos just from something as simple as like the subject of the word pig.
Yeah. Because pigs are amazing and bring us joy.
Whenever the two of you get together, it's uncontrolled chaos. Separately, you two are fine. When you two get together, it's like, oh man. Look out.
Kanani doesn't know anything about that. Kanani has no idea.
Tripping out
Kanani can't even hear
there's
you.
two of me on screen.
It does look.
Oh my God.
Oh, you got the fucking side eye right there.
So, Soleil.
There's two of me.
The question for you, and you talked a little bit about this when you came on the show years ago, but things are different and you're a young lady now, not a little girl. How did you know that you were a witch or a magical person? And don't say it's because your mom told you were, because that's cheating.
Cause I like candles, aromatherapy, and crystals. So like,
She's just nodding because it's like always been there.
Like magical stuff.
Do you remember like a moment in your childhood where, you really felt connected to that stuff? Was there like I know for some people, they'll go, oh, I remember this moment in time that kind of made me feel like that was the way I was supposed to go.
I mean, I think there was one time where I was at Sunfest in the fairy circle, and I was just kind of in the moment. And I was younger, so I had a lot of imagination, and I felt like I was with the fairies, which was kind of cool.
Nice.
Sunfest is awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great place to have your first, kind of one of those witchy moments.
Yeah, certainly for me too. Now, my other question for you, Soleil. When did you figure out that your mom and I are the coolest people in the world? Silence.
Dead
silence.
You haven't figured it out.
I haven't figured that out yet.
Hey, Soleil, let me answer for Soleil here. It hasn't happened yet, or will.
Don't be such a hater, Brian.
She waits with bated breath for that moment.
Hater.
All right. Well, my next question is for each of you, and kind of describe for us how public you are about your witchcraft. Honey, you get to go first. How public are you? I'm
not public at all. I tend to go. I don't know. I'm a very private person when it comes to stuff like this. It took me how many years to come on your podcast?
Well, except for the times like the time I locked you out, and everyone heard me pick up the phone where you're like, I got locked out. I had to go let you in, and the time that you
I forgot about that.
You walked in with my dinner, and I forgot you were coming, and it scared me, and I screamed, and yeah. Okay,
but no, those are just like brief, like that's not being on your show.
That's not being on the show.
Yeah, this is the first time I've actually been on your show.
Yeah.
And
I've tried for a long time.
Yes, I know, and it I don't know what motivated me to do it this time, but here I am. No, I'm not that public when it comes to being a witch. I tell people about it. I don't make a big deal about it, but I tell people, I'm like, yeah, this is my religion. This is what I believe. It means a lot to me. And there you go. When people talk about church, I'm like, well, your church may be a building, but my church is all outside. It's all around us.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Does that answer your question, or were you looking for something else?
I think it's perfectly fine, honey. You're doing a great job.
By the way you answered that question, that tells me you're not satisfied with me.
No, actually, no. That was a good response.
When you're a vampire and you have to hide from the world, you must be very, very discreet. So I am a very, very private witch.
This is the first time my husband has ever created a vampire persona for himself, so I'm trying to get my head around this, but it's pretty cute actually. I'm into it.
This is the first time I'm revealing the truth to the world.
Gordon Ramsay's a vampire.
What?
It's because what?
He's learned that Gordon Ramsay's a vampire.
No, he's not.
Oh yeah,
he is a vampire.
Oh, he is.
He pretends to be.
No, you'll appreciate this, honey. He told Dawn Hunt when she was on MasterChef that she puts too much garlic in her food.
So
he's a vampire.
He's a vampire.
No, he's not a vampire.
No, he is. I mean, it's okay.
I figured Italian.
It's hard to accept.
I figured Italian you would.
He is. Oh, please. The whole garlic thing is a myth with vampires. We actually like it.
Okay, he's definitely leading into this character. I don't know how much wine he's had, but I'm sure there's a little piece of that into it.
Not enough. Not enough. Because somebody was supposed to bring me a bottle of wine on the way home.
And then things went wrong and sideways. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Soleil, how public are you about your witchcraft? When we last talked to you, you said that some of your friends at school knew, but you're at a different school now and a different point in life. So how public are you currently about your witchcraft?
I'm not public. I don't tell anyone.
Keep it pretty quiet.
Because I'm quiet.
No, she was just asking, are you quiet?
Oh, no, I'm just, you're
quiet
fine.
about that stuff because there are a lot of Christian. Oh.
Go ahead.
Because there are a lot of Christian kids at my school, and so that's not something that they fully support. And so a lot of my friends are Christians, so I don't share that with people.
Mm-hmm. What's that like for you, having to be kind of quiet?
It's normal. I'm comfortable with it.
Again, it's the mini me. It is very strange looking at Kanani sitting next to Soleil because it is like
it is
two of you.
uncanny.
It's very weird.
Twins.
Yeah, you guys look so alike.
One of you is wearing more lipstick and clearly has dabbled in more sin in her life than the other.
Actually, it's like looking at the light tower and the dark tower of the convalescent.
That's exactly right.
It's like, facial
exactly
features
right.
and glasses are like replicas of each other.
Trauma,
and you have
no
like
trauma.
dark hair and like light color hair. It's like, it's light and dark color.
Okay, so the next question is, what is it? Well, this goes to my husband. What is it like to have a witch wife? And Soleil, for you, what is it like to have a witch mom? Honey, you get to go first. Tell everybody what it's like to have a witch wife. I think I know what story you're going to tell, though. Go ahead. He's still mad at me for this one. I know it.
Oh boy, where do I start? Oh my gosh, I think the biggest thing is like I've noticed we've what's the word I'm looking for here? We've kind of invaded each other's minds and thinking processes. We've actually finished each other's thoughts quite a few times. Or we were thinking of an idea of something and we both come back and we're like, I think we need to do something this way, whether it's with the house or something. And then you're like, I was thinking the same exact thing. I'm like, and I keep going back to Family Guy where like Chris was trying to play with Meg about like, guess what word I'm thinking. And, he kept saying kitty and he just finally said, get out of my head, get out of my head. I find myself screaming that a lot whenever we have those moments.
Well, and it's interesting because you and I have very different approaches to witchcraft and always have.
Yeah.
Because you're far more ceremonial. You come up with a very specific formula. Like your work is very methodical.
Yeah.
And I'm not a chaos witch, but I'm definitely much more on the fly. I'm much more folk oriented.
Well, again, that's also the way you were trained, and compared to the way that I was trained. The group that I, was a part of, it was it was not so regimented, but it was regimented in the sense where it's like everything had to have a purpose. And that always resonated with me. Whereas like when I met you, I'm kind of like, oh my God, I'm like, there's a lot of cleanup afterwards. I'm like, where's this all going? I'm like, okay, it makes sense to somebody.
I've never heard you describe it that way of saying, oh my, there's a lot of cleanup afterwards.
We've lost Courtney. She's off in the laughter sphere.
Oh God. Well, I think one of my favorite, we each have a favorite story of one another from our witchcraft. And you, honey, like to tell a story about how I brought home a ghost from the cemetery without telling you and how mad you were about that when you found it lurking in the hallway.
Oh yes. That is always one of my favorite ones to tell because that literally, very rarely do I have those moments where I can actually see things. But when I do, it's like the guards are down enough to where I can like feel, sense or something. And I'll check in with you and I'll be like, is there a lot of spirit activity happening in the house or something? And sometimes you'll be like, no, I don't think so. But then sometimes you'll confirm and be like, yep, we got people or things that are flitting around for one reason or another. But the biggest one was when you brought the Civil War soldier home from Greenwood Cemetery in Brooklyn into our apartment because I saw full human figure shadows standing in the foyer of our front door. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, honey, I think there's somebody here. And you're like, oh yeah. I brought some dirt home from a cemetery plot. And I asked him to kind of hang out and like watch over the apartment. But then one of my favorite stories that I got you was when I was hiding my engagement ring to you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I did some protection magic around the engagement ring because we were living in our New York City apartment. I had no place to hide anything. It was like
there's not a lot of room to fit stuff into. Yeah.
No,
right.
And it's like she knows all the hiding spaces that there were. So I had like one where I was just kind of like, okay, I called in some spirits because I don't think they wanted you to know about it. They wanted the surprise to be kept. And I was really serious. I'm like, make sure she doesn't come over to this side of the bed. Make sure she doesn't see where I'm, come over to this part of my nightstand, this, that, whatever. And she told me, she's like, I don't know why, but I'm really anxious when I come home and I go, especially when I go into the bedroom. I'm like, oh, really? And like, when I told her what had happened after I finally proposed to her, it all made sense to her. And she was like, well, what the hell, man?
Well, what it was really intense is when you would leave, like you'd go out to go to work or go out somewhere.
Right.
I would get almost anxiety attacks when you weren't there.
Mm-hmm.
And it got so bad, and I started like getting readings on it. And I had 2 different readers saying, oh, your boyfriend's going to propose. And I'm like, what does that have to do with? I was hoping that you would, because we'd been together a really long time and I was still paying taxes like a single person, but we were definitely living like married people. And I'm like, this is getting expensive. And I said, well, I hope he proposes, but why am I having anxiety attacks whenever he leaves the house? Because I think you coded that spell was, especially while I'm gone, watch this, and so whatever spirits you brought into the house, like just freaking aimed their machetes or laser pointers or whatever right at me. And I was like, oh my God. And it was so freaky. And yeah, so I didn't appreciate that spell. That was not cool.
Well, I won't say exactly what I did. Let's just say I had more allies on my side helping me with that than I thought. So.
Well, Soleil, tell us, what is it like having a witch mom?
It's fun and exciting because we get to go to places, fun witchy shops, look around, look at crystals, go camping. I like it. And she has some pretty cool witchy friends too.
Did she give you a list of
it's good
answers?
To be around like other. No.
Yeah,
she just knows I buy the Christmas presents. She's smart.
I was going to say, did she threaten you and threaten to ground you if you didn't tell her that? Was there ever a moment in which you were like, oh, wow, no, my mom is actually a witch. It's not just fun buying crystals. Like, was there ever a moment where you're like, holy crap, this is kind of crazy?
Yeah, she told me about like her story, and then also like she said she gets ghost winks, which is like kind of cool. So it's like it shows.
Do you know what ghost winks are?
I don't know what ghost winks are.
So I was saying they don't. So it's a phrase that they learned from the movie The Haunted Mansion, the new Disney movie. Okay. Essentially, it's a ghost visit. So I've told them my ghost wink for like my grandfather is the smell of cigarettes. In that movie, they call them ghost winks.
Okay.
Ghost winks. That's cute.
I thought about that because I did tell her she was going to be asked that question. And I thought about it because at first she's like, she didn't even understand the question. And I thought about it because it's like she doesn't know any different. Like she doesn't know what it's like to have a mom that's not a witch. So it's like she doesn't really have a, comparative of why her life is necessarily different than her friends.
No, I'm sure she's observed.
Other than she gets to go to cool shops and go to cool camping festivals.
Oh, I'm sure she wishes she could get up early on Sunday mornings and go to church and being told. I'd have to sit in a pew.
Does that sound fabulous?
No.
She's like, absolutely not.
The child that when it stood in front of the nativity at that beautiful grotto and was like, what is this? What's happening? Mom, what's going on? Why is there a baby? Why are there animals in a bait? Why is the
oh my God.
What's happening right now? With all the old women just glaring at me, judging my poor innocent child. Like, this just looks fucked up.
Oh my God.
And it was. She was right.
Amazing. Okay, so these are some popcorn questions for Brian and Soleil. Favorite ice cream flavor?
That's pretty. Well, that's Tillamook mudslide.
Yeah, that's good.
It's hard to say no to that, man.
It's so good. Soleil?
Chocolate.
Tillamook.
Yeah.
Okay,
so the best ice cream.
Yeah, Tillamook is some good shit. Okay, sweetheart, favorite movie?
Favorite movie of all time?
Yes.
The original Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Well, although I have to say, it's like after Disney acquired them, I'm just like, I used to be a big fan of it. Now I'm just kind of like, maybe it's because I've reached my age where I'm like almost turning 50, or I'm just tired of all of it. But I think I'm just like, I think I'm just done with Star Wars, man. It's so sad.
Well, you know what? I've heard a number of people on different podcasts I listen to say the same thing, that they're just oversaturated with it. They're really done. But, we need to prepare ourselves because we're taking our baby to visit your family in Ohio, which means all of your family's friends are going to give us Baby Yoda stuff.
Probably.
So, yeah.
Probably because we don't have enough of that.
We have enough.
Clearly not.
We have enough of that before the baby was born.
Oh my God. We almost had a Star Wars nursery.
I mean, the honest truth is you also don't have enough pigs or crabs for the baby. So I am dedicated to making sure that I don't fall short this year.
We are going to move and not tell you what our address is, Hillary, and you will not be able to track us down. No,
we won't.
No.
It's going to happen, and I'm going to find you. Because when you've been friends as long as Courtney and I have been, or as long as Kanani and Courtney and I have been, like we have like radar on each other. We'll find each other, and then there will be pigs and crabs. You
keep deluding yourself and telling yourself that story, but you will not find me.
I mean, there might be multiple bags ready to go for the holidays that already have pigs or crabs in them. I'm just saying, like, we don't have to like go into details, but I feel like I've been letting everybody down, and I apologize that the volume of pigs and crabs has been minimal. So,
instead of like talking about like if we're going to talk crabs, let's go and actually catch some real ones here.
Oh yeah,
ready. Me and Hillary in a boat again.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I got the crab hat is like in the garage along with my trap, so it's ready.
Soleil. All right, Soleil, what is your favorite movie?
I like Mamma Mia.
Oh, that's so
a good
cute. That's so great. That's great.
That's a good one.
Are you an ABBA fan, or is it just the movie itself?
The movie.
Yeah. Okay.
They like the songs now, but they learned the songs from the movie, not the other way around.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have, especially.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so favorite monster. Now, this can be a monster that's in a movie, or it can be a monster in folklore. Brian, go first. Who is your favorite monster? Who or what is your favorite monster?
I gotta say it's Godzilla.
Oh yeah?
I gotta say it's Godzilla.
Why Godzilla?
I think because a lot of when I was in grade school, for some reason, a lot of those Godzilla movies were showing up on cable TV, and I never could see them. But I would catch them every once in a while. My dad was always like harping on me and my sister about watching too much TV. But I'm like, I just wanted to see Godzilla. It's like when you're a kid and you see those old Toho movies, it's like, it's so real in your mind. And like, you look at it now and you can't help but like crack up looking at it. But yeah, Godzilla is probably my favorite all-time monster, movies or otherwise. Yeah.
Soleil, who or what is your favorite monster?
I like Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc.
Nice. It's been a million years since I've seen that, but I love that.
Classic movie.
Isn't that how they say it? Mike Wazowski.
Classic.
No, I don't think so.
Probably
Mike Wazowski.
That's fair.
Why is that one your favorite?
I like how he's like one of the shorter monsters, and then I also did him for my Halloween pumpkin. I carved him, so it was like kind of fun.
That's right, you did. She made her pumpkin look like Mike Wazowski.
Awesome.
Okay, final popcorn question before we move into the game itself. Favorite love story. I'm going to let Soleil go first because I'm sure Brian's going to have to think on that for a few minutes. So Soleil, your favorite love story.
Oh, you can say that.
I like the love story from Mamma Mia.
Which one?
The daughter.
The daughter one?
Yeah.
Where she's fuck marriage, and she just runs off on a boat?
Yes.
Fair. I support this.
To travel.
That's my favorite kind of love story also.
I'm watching my husband just stare off into space trying to figure it out. He can't think of one. I think, all right, go ahead, honey.
I can't. It's something really obscure and not really a love story, but it's like, I'm sure it's something really obscure. What do you think it is?
I am sure it is the love story from Bram Stoker's Dracula.
That's the one I was thinking of, yeah.
Yeah, I knew it. I'm like, that's the one. I can watch the heartstrings stir when we watch that movie.
Yeah, I think that's about as close as it gets. So
Yeah, entering immortality, like you're.
That's actually that would be a hard question for me to answer. I don't even know if I would have an answer to that question.
Yeah,
I mean, and being somebody from Romania,
Same. I'm not
that is my
sure.
favorite movie.
well, I mean, it is the most underrated love story of all time because somebody enters immortality because they lost their spouse too soon and spend eternity trying to find them. Twilight ripped it off, but Bram Stoker's Dracula is, yeah.
And being someone from Romania, yes, that is why it would be my favorite love story.
Oh, honey, you're not from Romania. We're going to take a quick sponsor break. And when we come back, we will see if the queen of Hallmark movies versus the king of horror movies versus Kanani, who will win. Literally everyone knows this podcast runs on blood, sweat, tears, and jasmine pearl tea. But now get ready, witches. Our beautiful friends at the Jasmine Pearl Tea Company have some new blends for this summer.
Oh my God. Seriously, everyone knows how obsessed I am with tea, and I am extra obsessed with Jasmine Pearl. Fortune's Fool, which is a pu'er tea for those looking for a more sophisticated tea, is insane. I am in love with it. Plus, it has pigs on the wrapper, which makes it extra amazing.
I need all of that tea.
They're insane. And everyone knows that coffee is my jam. One of the ways that you can get me to drink tea is when you have some sort of a mint tea. And the Northwest mint is absolutely fantastic. It's something that you can make in a large brew and you can put in your fridge so that you can drink it cold during hot months. And it is absolutely marvelous.
Yeah, and also the blackberry fig, which can be enjoyed either hot or iced. I mean, it's the end of the summer. Iced tea is still the thing, but the nights are getting cooler. And so this is a really great one to have around during the transition from summer to autumn. Also, you've got the equinox. It's a great herbal for this coming month and the change in the seasons. And it contains herbs that can be sometimes beneficial for those of us with uteruses.
You really, really need to go check out these teas at thejasminepearl.com. Save 10% with coupon code WITCH2023. That's WITCH2023. And you get free shipping on orders over $35. So get those orders in.
Thank you so much to the Jasmine Pearl Tea Company for being an episode sponsor. Okay, Kachina Aurora fans, get ready because our friend Dawn Hunt has now launched a new, drumroll, tomato sauce. Magical marinara, roasted garlic, pomodoro. Holy shit.
We got to try it. I made this incredible pasta dish for my husband. I throw some beef sausage in there, just regular old stuff from the grocery store, topped it with this sauce, threw it on some gluten-free pasta because I have the celiac. My husband did not stop talking about this. I'm serious. The rest of the night was, oh my God, the sauce is so good. Oh my God, I am under Dawn's spell. Oh my God, I can't stop. I mean, the flavors sit with you. And like you just feel comforted and you feel loved and you really feel the magic that she puts in there and the high quality ingredients. I am actually serving that pasta dish with that sauce to my Italian mother-in-law when she's here next week. Okay, that is saying something and I'm going to do it.
I mean, it's so true. I finally got my hands on a jar and it was the best. Like, I was like, wow, I don't even need to touch anything. This is perfection in a jar. I mean, honestly, I love everything Dawn does, but I also really lean into the Kachina Aurora infused olive oils, which are not only incredible to put on food, but they are also each crafted with magical intention. So you've got a really good, ready to go, delicious food, as well as your spell work.
If you haven't tried her coffee yet, you need to get on it because she has different ones for each of the seasons. Not only that, but she also has different brews for the dark moon, half moon, and full moon. These are whole bean coffees with different spectrums of darkness and strength. They're almost as dark as my soul. They are so, so good.
To bring your own practice into the kitchen, go to KachinaAurora.com ASAP and use code WitchLife to get 10% off. That's code WitchLife for 10% off.
Do it, witches, and thank you to Kachina Aurora for being an episode sponsor.
All right, everybody, we're back. Now, I'm going to read out the description. Now, Kanani, this is very important. I'm only reading the descriptions once, so you have to listen. Kanani used to always have me repeat it, and I think that there was something in there that made her figure it out. So I am only saying it once. I will read it slowly and clearly. Now, the other key to this game is that all of these movies were released in 2023. So if you're trying to figure it out, if this is an ancient horror movie from back in the day, it's not. All of these came out in 2023. Okay?
You didn't tell me that before we went into this.
I didn't. It's okay. I didn't need to. I'm sure you can figure it out, honey. I'm sure you can do great.
I needed to prepare for this.
No, that's not how we do.
Yeah. No, that's cheating.
No, it's not. Absolutely not.
No. Yep. Okay. All right. So I am pulling up my scorecard, and I don't actually think we have a prize this time besides bragging rights. I think being able to beat Kanani should be enough in itself. All right.
My daughter just said she wants Dairy Queen if she beats me.
Well, I think that's a good plan. Okay. Are you all ready? Remember, I'm only reading this once. Don't ask me to read it a second time.
I'm going to read it 4 times.
I'm going to read it once.
4 times.
Okay. An esteemed astrophysicist is scheduled for her first trip into space when an accident grounds her. She is reassigned to work at the local planetarium where she is paired up with a stranger to develop a special exhibit. Hallmark or horror?
Horror.
Brian says horror.
Hallmark.
I'm going to say horror.
All right, Soleil got that one. That is a Hallmark. That is a Hallmark movie. It is called Under the Christmas Sky. Kat is an esteemed astrophysicist scheduled for her first trip to space until an accident grounds her. While on leave, coming to terms with the reality that her dream of being an astronaut is over, she volunteers at the local planetarium. There, she is paired up with by-the-book David to work on an exhibit opening right before Christmas. Will the stars align to bring these two together at the holidays?
I call BS on that.
No, that one is
It's harder than it seems.
I know, right? So, okay.
Soleil just said that was pretty easy.
Well, you told me that she practiced on last year's game and did surprisingly well. So
no, she didn't. I just let her listen to it so she would understand how the questions were asked or whatever. But she nailed every single one of them, and I was like, "Crap!"
All right, question number 2. A woman wakes in a world of black and white. She must rely on a strange man to get her back to her regular world.
Hallmark.
Brian says Hallmark.
Hallmark.
Soleil says Hallmark.
I'm going to say horror.
Connie says horror. This time, Brian and Soleil get it. It is a Hallmark movie.
Son of a bitch!
Will Kanani lose her tiara?
I'm displeased.
That sounded a little too on the nose to be a horror movie. Yeah.
Displeased.
This is called Hallmark. Where are you? Oh, sorry. This is called Where Are You, Christmas? When Addie wishes for a year without Christmas, she wakes in a world of black and white. She must work together with a town mechanic to restore Christmas. Do you think they get together at the end?
No.
I mean, it's a Hallmark movie, so 100% yes.
All right.
Right, Soleil? They're going to get together at the end. That's how it goes. It's a Hallmark movie. Come on. Get with the program.
Has there ever been a Hallmark movie where they didn't get together at the end?
Nope.
No.
No.
There's no marketing for them in that, I guess.
You would know better than I. She watches all of them.
Yeah,
I saw this meme where somebody said they watched the first 30 minutes of a Hallmark movie, fell asleep, and then woke up and watched the last 30 minutes of another Hallmark movie, and they didn't realize they weren't the same movie.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Fair.
That is so funny.
Yep. Okay. Next question. A group of World War II vets gather right after the war to help their friend contact his wife, and they're in for much more than they bargained for once things start happening. All the while, 2 women try to figure out how to solve their own predicament.
Horror.
Slay says horror.
Yeah, I'm going to say horror too.
Brian says horror.
All right, to try and get some points, I'm going to say Hallmark.
It's a horror movie.
I knew it would be because I knew you wouldn't do Hallmark 3 times in a row, but fuck. No one likes you.
This is called
Stop cheering.
Brooklyn 45. This is Ted.
Because you're losing.
Yes.
She says this is called Brooklyn 45. Ted, I can't pronounce this. Ted Geoghegan. Sweetie, do you know what that is?
No.
Okay. Well, it's a historical seance thriller filled with style and heart far beyond what's expected from a real-time movie primarily set in one room. As a group of World War II vets gather right after the war so their friend can try to contact his recently deceased wife, they're in for much more than they bargained for when spooky stuff starts happening. The cast of characters exudes a lived-in feel for this group of soldiers, and key twists in the first and third act are truly jaw-dropping. All right. Okay. What are you doing on your phone? Stop. You're cheating. Put your phone away. This is like a trivia game.
I'm displeased.
I don't give a shit. Okay. Number 4. A woman's world
I'm
is
0 for 3. I should be so lucky as to be cheating.
Oh my God.
This is unheard of.
You are going down this
This is
year.
what I'm saying. I am displeased. I knew it would be her that would take me down. That's why I was so hesitant to let her on this show.
I don't know. My husband's doing pretty well against you too. All right. You ready?
Do it.
Mm-hmm.
A woman's world is turned upside down when strangers descend upon her house. Because of an incident in her past, however, she's convinced that no one in her small town will be inclined to help her help these strangers.
Hallmark.
Hallmark?
Hallmark.
Hallmark?
Or
Kanani got that one. This one is called
Thank God.
No One Will Save You. A compact fleet alien
I saw
adventure.
that one.
You did?
Oh my God. I actually watched that. Yeah.
Is what that is.
I actually watched that. Oh my God.
Damn it. Oh my God.
Caitlin Dever is magnificent as Bryn, a troubled loner whose world is turned upside down when aliens descend upon her house. The most interesting wrinkle is that because of a traumatic incident in her past, she's convinced that no one in her small town will be inclined to help her keep the extraterrestrials at bay, even if the end of the world is near. An impressive element of this film is its near dialogue-free script, which amps up Bryn's isolation to unbearable levels.
It was a good movie. I'm surprised I didn't get that one.
You know what? With some of our guests last year had seen the movies and they didn't get them. So, okay. Ready for the next one?
Do it.
An influencer travels abroad for a paid vacation and meets a fellow traveler who has secrets of their own.
Influencer travels abroad and meets a stranger with secrets of their own. Oh man.
Really?
Hallmark.
Hallmark? She's crossing her fingers. Oh,
She's not sure.
She wants to take me down so bad. I'm going to say horror.
Hallmark.
that one is a horror movie. This is called Influencer. An underseen gem, influencers smartly skew social media culture in ways that are surprising, with twists that are impossible to predict. Emily Tennant stars as Madison, an influencer who travels to Thailand for a paid vacation. To say any more would ruin the nasty tricks, but the film is kept on tracks via realistic views of technology and influencer economy. MVP goes to Cassandra Naud, a fellow traveler who has secrets of her own.
I think I may have seen an advertisement for that. Shame on me. Okay.
All right, so Kanani's at 2, Soleil's at 3, and Brian is at 2. All right.
All right.
An aspiring news anchor finally gets her big break on her station's morning newscast, but then captures an intruder in her home, claiming to be on a serious mission. They find themselves pursued by the police and others.
Oh, that's a Hallmark.
That's Hallmark.
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 You're all right. This is called Catch Me If You Claws. Avery Quinn is an aspiring news anchor who's finally getting her big break on her station's Christmas morning newscast. But that's in jeopardy when she captures an intruder in her home wearing a red suit claiming to be Chris, Santa's son, who is on his first mission. A night of adventure ensues as they find themselves being pursued by the police as well as some shady characters. Along the way, they connect over living in the shadow of their parents and inspire each other to go after their dreams.
Pardon me,
Literally.
while I go and get my puke bucket.
I know. I was like, Brian's face is telling me that he's very excited to watch this movie.
So far, this is the most Hallmarky of the Hallmarks that we have.
It's true.
Yeah. Okay. All right. A realtor agrees to help her sister in flipping a recently inherited home, but the co-beneficiary has other plans in mind. Watching them all look at the ceiling.
I want to say Hallmark.
Hallmark?
And say yours.
No, you go first.
Nice try, Kanani.
I know. You suck. Okay. All right. I'm just that one is a hard one. I'm just gonna say horror.
Okay.
I'm gonna say horror.
That one is a Hallmark movie. It's called
Oh, what? Brian's catching up.
It's called Flipping for Christmas. It's almost Christmas when busy realtor Abigail agrees to help her sister with the, quote, simple flip, end quote, of a recently inherited home. Unfortunately, co-beneficiary Bo has other plans in mind. All right, so Soleil and Brian are tied each with 4. Will Kanani catch up in the next round?
Uh-oh.
All right.
How many do I have? 3?
Yeah.
I'm displeased.
Okay. When a snowstorm diverts a young pilot's first private flight, she must rely on a stranger to get back on course.
Hallmark.
Hallmark?
I'll say horror.
Horror?
Let me think about that one. I'm going to say Hallmark.
It's a Hallmark movie.
Okay.
It's called.
Damn it!
For those of you at
I know
home,
you fed them the answers.
What is happening to you?
I know you fed them the answers.
For those of you who think that Kanani is playing nice to help her daughter,
I feel the conspiracy happening.
Oh, she would take joy in watching her daughter lose. Have we not met Kanani before?
Exactly. Thank you, Hillary, for having my side.
I mean,
Okay.
I see you, like.
That one was called Christmas Island. When a snowstorm diverts Kate's first private flight en route to Switzerland to Christmas Island, she must team up with an air traffic controller to secure her dream job as the family's pilot.
And I'm sure they all put candy canes in their tiki drinks.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Ready for the next one? A small family has their vacation in the woods interrupted by 4 strangers who claim that an ancient legend is about to unfold.
Horror.
Horror? Horror?
Hallmark.
That is a horror movie. Kanani!
God fucking damn it. I don't want to play this game anymore.
What the fuck happened to you?
Wait, real quick. Is it Knock at the Cabin?
It's Knock at the Cabin.
That's what I thought. Yep.
Oh, you dirty, rotten cheater face.
Cheating.
This is an M. Night Shyamalan?
Shyamalan.
Yeah, evil lurks around every corner as a small family has their vacation in the woods interrupted by 4 desperate strangers, all claiming that the apocalypse will happen unless one of the family members kills another. So, all right. Okay, so, all right, we've got one more. Let's see if Kanani has any chance of catching up. All right, everybody ready? A teenage girl is at odds with the leader of a local boy-led organization over a dog and a friend. Oh my God, my husband's face right now.
Brian's face right now.
What? I don't even understand what she just said. She just said a bunch of words and none of them made sense in the order in which she said them.
You know what? That makes absolutely no sense.
All right, I will read this one once more because you're all confused. But this is the only one I'm reading twice. Okay. A teenage girl is at odds with the leader of a local boy-led organization over a dog and a friend. Their argument is over a dog and a friend.
I say Hallmark.
Hallmark?
I missed the first part of the question.
Gotta cup something up.
Why is everybody so nervous?
I'm just trying to.
You've already beat me. Okay, so just
try to. You're only having to beat.
So there's a guy. There's a girl, and there's a conflict
dog.
with a guys-led organization
between the friend and the dog. Yeah, I'm just kind of like, oh God. Horror.
Brian says horror. What do you say?
Hallmark.
It is a horror movie. It's called The Wrath of Becky. This amusing and
what kind of dumbass movie name
I
is
literally
that?
text you.
The
I
Wrath
was like,
of Becky.
I literally text Courtney because I was like, everyone should say this is a Hallmark movie, but it's so weird. It must be a horror movie. And I literally sent you a thing that said horror. If you look at your phone.
I saw it. It just popped up on my screen. This amusing and violent genre picture stars Lulu Wilson as teenage assassin Becky, who targets Proud Boy-ass goons in the sequel to the 2020 neo-Nazi killing first feature.
Okay, then.
So I have to say, you know what this means? Brian won.
What?
Is that the last one?
That's the last one.
I won?
Yeah.
You won. Soleil is behind by 1.
The final score was
I'm behind by 8,000.
Brian
that's
7,
correct.
Soleil 6, Kanani 3. Okay, but we could do the last one for 10. I have a tiebreaker we could do for 10,000 points.
Wait, honey, I didn't get what the score was. What was the score?
The score is you have 7, Soleil has 6, Kanani had 3.
Okay.
But we could do the last
3.
one for
He fell off the truck a long time ago.
I have brought shame upon my family. I'm not drinking this year. Every other year, I'm half in the bag. Clearly, that's my
problem.
weapon.
Yeah, and my husband's drinking cheap white wine that I bought for cooking purposes. So,
Yeah, it's the only thing we had in the house.
Rosé with a red vine, I'd be killing it right now.
well, we could do the last one for triple or nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
Triple or nothing. Let's go.
Okay. A recently divorced woman and her son visit a remote island only to find themselves running a real working lighthouse alongside the lighthouse's operator.
God. I'm going to say Hallmark.
Okay, Hallmark. Stop glaring at your daughter, Kanani. She's like giving her this evil stare.
He's waiting for her to go first because then she's going to base her answer off of that.
No, I'm feeling like it's Hallmark too.
I'm going to say horror.
It is a Hallmark movie, which means that Brian's
That just sounds like Eric has a new daddy. Like it just is awful.
Brian is the winner.
Is that what the movie's called? Eric has a new daddy.
It's called Navigating Christmas.
Oh my God.
Sweetie, how does it feel to have beat Kanani and taken her tiara?
Well, if it's made of silver, I can't wear it. So
Well, then see, he has given up his throne.
I can't wear silver because it burns my kind. However, if it's made of gold, then I'll proudly wear it.
Brian.
I knew my daughter would beat me. I knew she would.
What? Well, no, I thought Soleil was going to beat the pants off of me because I had a feeling it was like, she was going to get all the Hallmark stuff, but this is not the easiest game in the world, so.
We should definitely play it with both of our families
to be fair,
this Christmas.
She's also 12, so there's that.
So I was very familiar with movies at her age, so yeah, I thought she still would have beat the pants off of me.
I mean, especially a 12-year-old girl. I try to be a 12-year-old girl at a game about Hallmark movies. That's intense.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
Well played, both of y'all. And for those of you listening, if you are a member of our Patreon community, aka our TWL Witch Squad, you can get a PDF of this game, which then you can play at your holiday gatherings. So well done, honey. I'm so impressed by you.
Nice job.
I wish there was a prize involved.
I mean, bragging rights over Kanani.
Bragging rights over Kanani is a fucking prize.
Making her make that face.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. You asked me what my favorite ice cream flavor was, and we don't have any ice cream in the freezer.
Do I need to go out and get some? I mean, I guess I could.
I think you may have to.
All right, I'm going to have to go buy us some ice cream, especially since we didn't have any dinner.
No, we did not.
I had like 5 tortilla chips. Does that count?
Not really.
Well, we like our favorite pizza place. We found out at like way too late was closed on Sundays. They changed their hours. So
Yeah, what do y'all need to speak to your fiance about staying open on Sundays?
I've talked to him about this so many times, and he's just lazy. So
come on, Hillary, what are you doing?
Are you guys back on now? I thought you weren't going to marry him. No, you changed.
No, that's why. I mean, like he's just I said no, and then like he just can't get his shit together anymore. And I mean, like, how am I supposed to be responsible for that?
Soleil just said, "Is she talking about my new daddy, the pizza guy?"
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay. So we actually forgot to talk about this on the show. We're still trying to ship Kanani with the pizza guy because we need one of us to marry the pizza guy. But then we've decided that Hillary is allowed and probably should marry the guy that owns the Indian restaurant directly across the street. And Brian wisely pointed out that the layout of the two restaurants is identical but mirror flipped, which just goes to show it's meant to be.
No.
Support this.
What?
You told me that the layout on the inside of the Indian restaurant is the same as the layout of the pizza restaurant.
Right, but where did you pull from that? Like it was meant to be that she had to marry the owner.
Well, that's been going on for a while. What did Soleil say?
I support this.
No, Soleil, I'm so disappointed in you.
When did you guys get her on the phone to like join in cahoots?
What the fuck? No.
Free pizza?
She wants free pizza.
Yeah, you were just like your aunts.
I want my friends to be happy with successful business owners who make really good gluten-free food.
You just want free pizza.
Here's my hope. The three of you will like completely bomb this, and I just have to go in and beg and plead and say, listen, you can keep the three of them out of there. Just let me come back into your restaurants, and then it's like we'll forget this whole thing ever happened.
How many times has Brian sat me down seriously after listening to one of our episodes and said, honey, if the pizza guy hears this episode, is he going to get upset?
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you want to be friends,
what have you guys done to this poor guy?
I mean, if you want to be friends with our discarded men, I mean, by all means.
Actually, what it ended up following up with, I told Courtney, I said, if you ruin this for me and I can't dine at those restaurants anymore, our relationship is going to be in question. And you talk about marrying one of those guys. No, actually, no, never.
He's like, wait, no. Erase.
No, I'm going to be like, our relationship is going to be in question.
He's going to slip Corey $20 to edit that out.
Corey, it's fine. Leave it in. But, you could see it in the video that I made of when we took Kanani to the pizza shop, and the look that Brian was giving us was just so disapproving.
He was displeased.
I mean,
I was preparing my begging and pleading speech if this guy ever saw this video, and I'd be like, listen, man, I had nothing to do with it.
Well, the thing is if he saw the video, then he is part of our Patreon subscribers, at which point he would already know we're talking about him. So,
True.
I mean, so if he hears it, it means he follows the podcast and at least must, on some level, find us amusing. And likely knows about our love quest, our ill-fated love quest.
Okay, so the next time I go in there, if he's not busy, he just comes up to me and says, "Hey, is your friend still single?" What do I tell him?
That's a good question. That's a very good question.
Think about that.
You say Kanani, because I've already rejected him. He's not going to want to get.
I'm going to tell him oh yes, Hillary is definitely single, and she's waiting for you to call her.
That's
what?
You can do that, and then the thing about
I'm going to do that every time you plant a pig or a crab on my front lawn. It's coming. That's
fine.
It's coming
because it is worth. It is worth. So wait a minute. Hold on. What I'm hearing is you give me permission to pig and crab you as long as you can get involved with the pizza situation.
That is
I'm here.
I'm saying.
I'm ready.
How dare you?
I have an
twist
arsenal.
My words, you harlot.
I already have. I have an arsenal.
I
have an arsenal of pigs and crabs in my home, and I'm already ready.
How dare you?
I've been collecting. collecting for every moment.
Butchering my words.
I'm going to come back in and bring us into a spectacular finish. This has been yet another, and this, I would say, the most successful Hallmark or horror movie because somebody actually fucking dethroned Kanani after, 5 years?
Finally.
It's garbage.
All right. We should. Soleil, thank you so much for joining us today. This was really great.
Thanks, Soleil.
All right. Okay, everybody, have a great week. We'll be back next week with a really fabulous Yule-focused episode. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to That Witch Life podcast. Our music is by Dustin Schultz, editing by Corey Drake. If you like what we do, please subscribe, rate, and review us on Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the show, you can buy us a coffee or check out our merch on our Etsy store or join us on Patreon for bonus content, ad-free episodes, or to join our witch squad. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For show notes, audio transcript, or to ask us a question to answer on a future episode, go to thatwitchlife.com. Until then, keep moding that shit. We will talk to you next week.
So mote it be.